Right now, everyone is panicking that AI is coming for their jobs. Copywriting, graphic design, and even musicians are all in danger. In fact, any job that could be done on a laptop is at risk. AI can do it faster, cheaper, and maybe even better. So it might be time to face facts, guys. You might need to start looking for a side hustle. The fashion industry has a secret weapon that might just shield you from the rise of the machines. AI will be able to generate an image of this bag within seconds. But what AI cannot do is touch the smooth leather, smell its authenticity. It can't inspect it for damage. It can't repair and condition and get it looking brand new again. And that, my friends, is your secret weapon. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at fashion-related side hustles that might just protect you from artificial intelligence. These side hustles rely on your eyes, your hands, your aesthetic tastes, and even your inherent creativity. And these things will give you a competitive edge to maintain a nice regular income. First up, let's talk about reselling. Now, I'm a full-time professional luxury vintage seller. I buy and sell Gucci handbags for a living. I've been doing this for a number of years, and so far AI has not posed much of a challenge to me. In fact, for me, AI is something of a useful tool. And as of today, AI just cannot physically go into a thrift store and start rummaging for bargains. It can't clean and repair an item, it can't photograph it, and it can't pack it up in a box and send it off to the buyer. And AI just simply does not have a sense of touch. AI cannot touch the leather to see whether it's dry, for example. It can't smell it to see if it smells musty or smoky. And let's face it, AI just cannot evaluate an item in the same way that a human can. And this is your competitive advantage. But is reselling for you? Many online resellers will tell you it's a perfect business to get into. You can even get started right now, today. All you need is a phone and a wardrobe of old clothes, and you're good to go. In theory, if you reinvested your profits and bought new stock to sell, then you could have a nice little side income. Well, the truth is a little bit more complicated than that, and I've made a video about that topic, which you can check out later. But actually, AI can be quite useful for a reseller. I use it sometimes when I come across an item that I don't really know much about. It's quite easy to whip out the phone, snap a picture, send that off to Google Lens, and the AI will give me some helpful information. It's not absolutely perfect, but I have to say it's pretty good. If you're a reseller and you use AI, let me know how you use it in the comments. Or connected to reselling is another technique that I use to add value to my purchases. In fact, if I was so inclined, I could turn this into a whole business by itself. And as of today, AI simply cannot touch it. So what is it? Making old items look brand new again might just be a great side hustle, because right now AI simply can't do it. Refurbishing items is a highly specialized skill that requires a delicate hand. In my business, I regularly buy old and tatty bags and try to give them a new life. Because if I can turn a fair condition item into an excellent condition item, then I can charge more for it. And that in itself could be a good income. I'm quite often able to buy an old Gucci bag for less than $100. And with a couple of hours of elbow grease, cleaning the bag, conditioning the leather, making a few repairs to the piping, whatever it may be, if I do all that and take an excellent photo of it and write an amazing description, well, it's not unreasonable that I'm able to sell that bag for $2, $3, $4, sometimes even $500. And that's a nice way of earning an income. In fact, just recently, in order to hone my refurbishing skills, I attended the handbag repair course run by LTT Leather up in Harrogate in the north of England. And if you don't know LTT Leather, they're the guys behind the handbagspa.com. And a great technique I learned was color matching. You can definitely add value to an old bag by covering up the scuffs and scratches with a bit of leather paint. But to get the exact color right, well, that requires a good eye. And right now, there's just no way AI could do that. In fact, refurbishing seems like a perfect side hustle, or even a main business that will protect you from AI. If you learn how to fix dry and cracked leather, if you learn how to cover up scuffs and scratches, if you can figure out how to repair corner piping, if you know how to reapply edge coating, if you learn how to clean out interior stains, then you could be onto a genuine winner. In fact, these days you can even get a machine that will replace the gold plating on your hardware. And these are all things protected from AI. And here's the thing, right now could be the perfect time to get started. According to Judy Bass, the course instructor, demand for these services are at an all-time high. Judy's classes are always full, and people fly in from all over the world to attend. And let's face it, with the market for vintage items increasing year on year, there's definitely going to be a demand for refurbishment services in the future. And by the way, guys, I'm not at all sponsored by the Handbag Spa or LTT Leather, but having attended the course myself, I can highly recommend it. So go check that out. Next up, let's talk about upcycling. These days, plenty of folks are making a nice business, not merely turning old items into new, but transforming those old items into something completely different. Now, sometimes that might be as easy as turning an old pair of jeans into a new pair of shorts, or it could be a more complicated project, like deconstructing an old trench coat into a structured skirt. But there are plenty of fashion-related upcycling projects that you could look into to earn yourself a little income. These days, savvy fashionistas are always on the lookout for unique pieces, and they're willing to pay for them. There's definitely a market out there for upcycled items. Of course, upcycling is nothing new. Just think of Dapper Dan in 1980s Harlem, New York. Dapper Dan was repurposing old garment bags and old trunks from such brands as Gucci and Louis Vuitton to create completely new and unique items for his clients. And among his clients were famous hip-hop artists such as LL Cool J and Salt and Pepper. Salt and Pepper, does anyone remember those guys, or am I just showing my age? And one of his clients was even Mike Tyson, the world champion boxer. Dapper Dan needed to figure out how to take rigid structured canvas from an old trunk and drape it round the client's shoulders. And that's a purely tactile, structural problem that at the minute AI is clueless. Right now AI is great at following existing patterns, but against powerful creatives like Dapper Dan, well, it's got no chance. AI just cannot innovate in the same way that a human can. But who knows? Maybe you have what it takes to be the next Dapper Dan. Have you ever tried upcycling? Well, let me know in the comments. Next up, let's talk about alterations and customizations. These days, plenty of fashion houses create garments designed to fit a standard human size. But the thing is, humans just don't come in standard sizes. And think about this, when you buy vintage items, it can be incredibly hard to find things that actually fit you. My problem is, I'm a short guy, and I always have trouble finding jeans that will fit my short little legs. But luckily for me, in my town, there's a really sweet old lady who does alterations, and she seems to have a genuinely good side hustle. Not only does she get to work from home, but she also has a huge backlog of customers. Hemming trousers, taking in waists, or tapering jackets. These are all skills that are in high demand right now. And if you're good with your hands, well, who knows? Maybe this could be a good business for you. You could even take it a step beyond and offer bespoke customizations. You could replace those cheap plastic buttons with something more fancy, or add some embellishments, or even put a nice piece of embroidery on them. AI is good, but at the minute, it can't really operate a sewing machine. And when we're dealing with sensitive materials such as silk, well, that definitely requires a sensitive human touch, and AI just can't do that. Next up, let's talk about Thrift To Order. I've made something of a name for myself selling my vintage Gucci bags online. Sometimes a client will message me, asking me if I can find a particular item. Maybe she's looking for a Gucci marmot in a certain color, for example. Well, I don't mind, I'm happy to go hunting for her. And because over the years I've made a few connections, there's a good chance I'll be able to help her. I can put the word out on the street and start tracking down that item. And I've often thought to myself, I could possibly sell my bargain hunting skills to customers. I could have a business where I track down rare and unusual items for collectors, for example. And I've always thought that that might be a profitable little side business. People are offering these services, not just for individual items, but for whole bundles. A client may pay you upfront and send you out to physically track down their wanted items. An entire wardrobe, a wardrobe tailored exactly to her size, her style, and her tastes. And to me, this seems like a really nice little side hustle. You don't need a big investment to get started, for example, and you don't have the nightmare that many resellers face of dead stock. And there's even a potential for a high margin. Take a look on TikTok or Instagram. You're bound to find a creator out there who's turned their thrift to order hobby into a full-time business empire. And some of these creators have millions of views on their bundle unboxing videos. Because this kind of work creates highly watchable content. And that in itself could be a side hustle. Sure, maybe AI could be helpful in that it could create a mood board for your client. But AI is not going to be going out scouring all the thrift stores looking for that perfect 90s jacket for your client, is it? No. Which leads me to the next point. Let's talk about closet auditing. And this is an absolutely fantastic side hustle because you don't have upfront starting costs. Instead of buying items to resell, you can offer to resell someone else's items. Many people have wardrobes absolutely overflowing with clothes that they just don't wear. And they're either too busy or too overwhelmed or lack the competence to sell the items online themselves, which is where you come in. As a closet auditor, you could offer a premium 2-for-1 service. You can help the client to declutter by separating their items into keep, sell, or donate piles. And once you've done that, then you can offer your consignment services. You take away the items to photograph and list online, and you sell them on platforms such as Vinted or eBay or Vestiaire Collective, and when they sell, you take a cut of the profit. Now, how you structure that business is completely up to you. Some people might offer their decluttering services for free, but then charge a premium of 30 or even 50% when they sell the items. If you sold the client's bag for $1,000, well, you could potentially take half of that home. $500, that's all right. Or you might offer a flat fee for decluttering and make a smaller percentage on the consignment side of it, of say 20%. How you do it is up to you. Now, this hustle requires a very delicate touch. You need to build a trusting relationship with your client, and the process of decluttering can be a very emotional one. People have sentimental attachments to these items, and that requires sensitivity, a soft touch, a human touch. And AI, well, it's just not there yet. Next up, let's talk about rentals. Plenty of young people these days value access over ownership. Why would anyone spend $10,000 on a brand new Chanel when they can spend a fraction of that cost and use the item for a weekend or two? And you could buy bags, not with the intention of selling them, but of renting them. You'll look out for high-demand statement pieces that you can rent out time and time again. And these days there are even platforms that will help you rent your items out. I had a quick online, and there's By Rotation, there's Her, and My Wardrobe HQ. Now, I don't know if they're any good, so if you've used them before, do let me know your opinions. Or there's no reason stopping you from opening your own platform. What about the damage? Well, from what I understand, these platforms heavily vet their customers, and sometimes they offer an optional damage insurance cover, which really helps reduce your risks of a disaster. And it seems like renting out your bag might be a nice little earner. From what I understand, it seems that people are renting out their bags for like 10 or 20% of the retail price for a 4-day block. If you rented out your item for like 15% of the recommended retail price, you would only need to book it for 7 or 8 times to get your money back. That bag would pay for itself in no time at all. Anything after that is just pure automated passive income. Passive income that flows straight from your wardrobe. There are plenty of opportunities connected to the exciting world of fashion that are completely safe from AI. And right now could be the perfect time to start your fashion side hustle. Because as I've mentioned in a previous video, the market for second-hand luxury vintage fashion is booming. What's more, the trend looks set to continue into the near future. There are more and more people willing to spend more and more money on vintage items. I'm curious to know, have you ever tried one of these side hustles? Or were you thinking about it? Or maybe you've got an idea that I've completely missed from this list. I'm really hoping we can discuss these things together in the comments. Meanwhile, if you wanted to get started in reselling, then I've made a video about busting common reseller myths, which you might like to check out. Please support the channel by subscribing, and I'll see you again next time.